available to South Africa, dedicated to South Africa. South Africa can tap into that, but then tapping into that means that we must enter into a legal obligation. What the NEC is saying is that we must not, and we will not at any stage relinquish energy sovereignty of the country. I think that's important. Even in the midst of a fiscal matrix, at least for now, that is deteriorating, and we are confident that once we address the issues of load shedding, the issues around an investor climate, we are going to get out of this situation. Even in that situation of a deteriorating fiscal matrix, we are not going to relinquish energy sovereignty. And that's why earlier on, when I was referring to the transmission side of the energy ecosystem in the country, is that the state will at all times remain in ownership of the transmission side. The people will always be owning the transmission side, and the state is and government rather is an agency on behalf of the people. So because that talks to your energy sovereignty, I mean, that's a national key points if you come to think of it, and it's important that we protect it at all costs. Of course, on the generation side, we have liberalized. One of the things that the ANC has insisted on is that ESCOM must continue to be a player even on the renewable side. So if you look at the configuration in government, ESCOM is just left on the generation side to be on the thermal power side. ESCOM must be a market player also on the renewable side, so that you don't have a situation where over time ESCOM becomes insignificant and our developmental objective of universal access, affordability, energy security is threatened because of a generation that essentially is exclusively in private hands. So the state must remain a big player, and ESCOM is an outfit that is going to help us to maintain that position, and of course benefiting from market participation.
Thank you very much, Comrade Putla. Zenda, just to start with the issue around conversations with the security cluster. We have been, yes, indeed, raising quite a number of issues, and I do believe they will be coming to you to brief you. I don't want to speak on their behalf. The ETC, we are a client, if we are to put it in that context. So we have raised issues that we need their support on, and as they present us, when we'll be looking at that, giving them feedback on the areas of our concern to support the economic growth. So they will brief you in terms of their plans through our spokesperson and the SGO. So I think I'll leave it at that point, that they will be able to give you conversations with us, and them are continuous. Various areas where you have specific intervention, they come in. Like Comrade Putla was saying, when you look at the work that he does, there is a work stream that focuses on that support. They give you the report to say, this is what we are picking up, this is what you must pay attention to, and that is more of collaboration and support. So it varies at areas times. More support to say, be cautious of this, these are the risks, and again, in other areas it will be that they go in and intervene. Sometimes they even give us feedback where we are a problem. For example, even on Madela Ngokubona, at some point they said, you need to be clear as economic cluster in your localization, because sometimes you're causing confusion for the police to understand what is it, where do they differentiate the legit person who's looking for a 30% SMME subcontracting and a person who's literally a thug. So that's some of the feedback that we get back from them as we converse. So it's a two-way process where they give us feedback where we're making it difficult for them to operate and where they are. And then the last point is around, maybe just to explain, in government, between government and governments, when an MOU is signed, what it means is that you are agreeing to have a relationship. It's between these two countries, let's say France and South Africa are either going to exchange in terms of